Welcome to Spectrum News at 4. I am Rita Inong coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government offers 200 billion naira bonds for subscription in August 2025 auction. The National House of Assembly Committee probes care challenges in Katsina. Plus, Russian strikes reportedly kill 1, injure 18 in largest aerial attack. Details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and many thanks for staying tuned. We begin the news this afternoon from the national scene where the federal government has announced the offering of 200 billion naira in bond subscription by auction in August 2025. A circular posted on the Debt Management Office's website today noted that the exercise will hold on August 25th, 2025, with settlement fixed for Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. According to the DMO, the bond issuance was carried out in compliance with the Debt Management Office Establishment Act 2003 and the Local Loans Registered Stock and Securities Act, Chapter 17 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. On legislative matters where a high-level delegation from the National Assembly Committee on Basic Healthcare Services led by Chairman Amos Gwama Magaji has visited Katsina State to oversee the implementation of basic healthcare services in the state. The committee's visit aimed to assess the state's progress towards achieving universal health coverage and identify areas for improvement. Magaji expressed concern over the state's high maternal mortality rate and zero-dose immunization in some local government areas, including Mani, Kankara, Safana, Rimi, Funtua, Baure, Batagwarawa, and Kastina. He questioned why these areas were still struggling with healthcare delivery, despite Kastina being one of the most educated states in Nigeria. In another development, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has voted the approval of licenses for new private universities by the federal government. The union, while recalling the recent 7-year memorandum announced by the government, questioned the rationale behind the new licenses if access to university education in the country was not a problem. While commending the government for the memorandum placed on the establishment of new universities, ASU said the issue had long been advocated. It said the government should have long taken its advice and put a hold on establishing new universities. Recall that the Federal Executive Council had on August 13 approved a 7-year memorandum on the establishment of new federal tertiary institutions across the country to address duplication and improve quality of existing ones. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund has noted that upkeep loan disbursement is now strictly tied to the academic session of each institution. Nelfin made this known in a statement signed by its Director of Corporate Communications, Osheyemi Oluwatuyi. Nelfin further advised that interested loan applicants are required to apply for the loan at the beginning of every academic session to be eligible for institutional charges and upkeep for a particular reason. They said the loans disbursed directly to institutions, beneficiaries of the student loan scheme enjoy monthly disbursement of 20,000 naira, which amounts to 240,000 naira yearly. And back here, the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council approved a series of landmark resolutions aimed at advancing infrastructure, healthcare, tourism, sports, transportation, and energy. Government House, Uyo. In his opening remarks, the governor emphasized the importance of teamwork, urging them to leverage one another's strengths in the collective drive to actualize the ARISE agenda for the overall development of the state. Among key resolutions, the Council approved the award of 357 projects across ministries, departments, and agencies to qualified youths and companies through the state procurement portal, urging beneficiaries to maximize the opportunities for the good of the people. The Council also ratified the agreement and contract award for the Ibom International Hospital project, a proposed 350-bed world-class medical facility, and formally handed over the site to contractors. On infrastructure, ESCO reviewed 771 kilometers of road projects across the 31 local government areas, directing the Commissioner for Works and the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning to align identified needs with the 2026 budget to ensure widespread coverage.
Project Management Office, the Executive Council approved the award of 357 projects across various MDAs to qualified youths and companies pre-qualified through the state procurement portal. The Governor and Council urged youths in the state and businesses to take advantage of these opportunities for the benefit of the people. Following the consideration of the status report from the Ministry of Health on the Ibom International Hospital project, a 350-bed first-class medical facility, the Executive Council ratified the agreement with the construction company handling the project, an award of contracts for the project, and also approved the formal handover of the site to the contractors for work to commence. Council reviewed a total of 771 kilometers of road projects presented across the 31 local government areas. The Honorable Commissioner for Works, in collaboration with the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, were directed to align the road projects' needs identified during the town square meetings in the various federal constituencies with available budgetary envelopes for equitable coverage in the entire state.
To boost the power sector, the Council approved plans to host a power summit as part of efforts to accelerate reliable and affordable electricity delivery in the state and in the area of tourism. The Council inaugurated an interministerial delivery committee to drive preparations for a forthcoming tourism summit with Governor Umar Eno as chairman. The move, supported by a presentation from the Tony Blair Institute, is a part of Destination Akwa Ibom marketing plan.
Determined effort to consolidate the state's power sector development drive, the Executive Council reviewed the roadmap for the implementation of the Sustainable Energy Development Program of the state and approved the hosting of the Power Summit to anchor and accelerate the delivery of reliable and affordable electricity in the state. The Executive Council reviewed.
As part of youth and sports development, EXCO approved the purchase of equipment for 30 different sports ahead of the Akwa Ibom State Sports Festival, which kicks off on Monday, September 8, 2025, with 18 sporting events scheduled on. Transportation Council received the progress report on the Oron Maritime Terminal and directed acceleration of works to resume full maritime services and strengthen the Blue Economy Corridor. It further approved an expansion of the compressed natural gas city buses fleet from 20 to 50 to ensure rotational coverage of all 31 local government areas. The Council also took note of the ongoing continuous voters registration CVR exercise by INEC and urged mobilization of citizens for active participation.
Report of the Project Management Office, the Executive Council approved the award of 357 projects across various MDAs to qualified youths and companies pre-qualified through the state procurement portal. The governor and council urged youths in the state and businesses to take advantage of these opportunities for the benefit of the people. Following the consideration of the status report from the Ministry of Health on the Ibom International Hospital project, a 350-bed first-class medical facility, the Executive Council ratified the agreement with the construction company handling the project, an award of contracts for the project, and also approved the formal handover of the site to the contractors for work to commence.
And now to Africa, where Sudan's army has denied bombing a World Food Programme convoy taking aid to a famine-hit area in the country's Darfur region. The Parliamentary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has blamed the army for yesterday's airstrike in the town of Melit, which is under RSF control. However, the WFP said 3 lorries in the 16-vehicle convoy were damaged and caught fire, adding that all staff traveling in the convoy were safe. Recall that Sudan plunged into a civil war in April 2023 after a vicious power struggle erupted between the army and the RSF, creating one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. On the foreign scene, a Russian overnight attack has reportedly killed 1 person, injured at least 18, and struck a U.S. electronics manufacturer in western Ukraine. The Ukrainian Air Force has said that Russia used 574 drones and 40 missiles in the overnight attack on the country, which is the biggest one so far, in August. Recall that the strike takes place at a time of intense efforts by U.S. President Donald Trump to bring an end to the Russian war in Ukraine. And still on the foreign scene, Texas legislators have approved new congressional maps designed to sign Republicans an edge in next year's election for the U.S. House of Representatives after 2-week standoff in which Democrats fled the state to stall the vote and rally supporters against the redistricting plans. Republicans in Texas House of Assembly passed the new voting lines in an 82-52 vote. Reports say the maps will now go to the state Senate, where they are expected to be swiftly approved. And still to come in the news, Taiwanese boxer Lin agrees to gender test for World Championships. Stay tuned for details of this in a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned and welcome back to Spectrum News at 4. On our business news, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Enikin Lukwobiri, has assured that Nigeria remains fully committed to the rules of Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries despite recent gains in crude oil output. Lukwobiri said Nigeria would not exceed its production quota but would continue to push for a higher allocation to reflect its capacity and ongoing sector reforms. His remarks come amid fresh data showing that Nigeria has kept crude production above its OPEC quota for the second month running, with output rising slightly by 2,000 barrels per day from the 1,505 million barrels per day in June 2025. The minister noted that Nigeria's daily crude production had risen to around 1.8 million barrels, up from less than 1 million barrels at the time he assumed office. And still in business, the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, has stated that the Nigerian president and his led administration is committed to building a modern, safe and globally competitive maritime sector. This is even as Adegboyega announced plans to replicate the success of the Lekki Deep Sea Port across Nigeria's maritime sector, which he described as a model for transformative growth and development. In a statement by his media aide, Dr. Bolaji Akinola, Oyetola noted that during a breakfast meeting organized by the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping themed Unlocking Opportunities, the Lekki Deep Sea Port Playbook for Trade and Shipping in Nigeria, Oyetola explained that a central component of the current administration strategy is the nationwide application of the public-private partnership model and logistical efficiency demonstrated at the Lekki Deep Sea Port. In health, the Kwara State government has commenced a 6-day training of healthcare workers on identifying causes of maternal and neonatal death in the state. Speaking on the sidelines of the program, the Kwara Commissioner for Health, Dr. Amina El Imam, explained that the state government is working assiduously to identify causes of maternal and prenatal death. El Imam, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Tawheed Abdullahi, explained that identifying the cause will help the government provide the right policy and interventions to prevent death of mothers and babies. The Commissioner explained that the workshop is designed to build the capacity of health workers across the state and ensure proper documentation, review, and response to maternal and child death. And still in health, the Nigerian Association of Pharmacists in Academia, NAPA, has called on the federal government to urgently address the growing shortage of academic pharmacists in the country. The national chairperson of NAPA, Professor Catherine Stanley, made the appeal during the opening of the 23rd Annual National Scientific Conference of NAPA, held at the University of Port Harcourt. Stanley attributed the shortage of pharmacists to the increasing migration of young professionals to Europe and North America in search of better opportunities. She described pharmacists in academia as an endangered species, citing their migration to foreign countries and the lack of replacements for retirees and deceased colleagues. And now to sports, where Chelsea have struck an agreement with Brighton to sign Julio Enciso, and Xisco will join Strasbourg initially before he moves to Chelsea. The 21-year-old, who is currently recovering from a knee injury, will cost around €20 million. The deal means Chelsea will now brought in 5 players from Brighton since they took over at Stamford Bridge in 2022. And still in sports, Taiwanese Olympic champion boxer Lin Yu-ting will undergo compulsory gender testing ahead of the World Championships in Liverpool next month. Lin and Algerian boxer Imaine Khelif were embroiled in a gender role at the 2024 Paris Olympics, where they both won gold medals in different weight classes. World Boxing said on Wednesday that women wanting to compete at the World Boxing Championships in Liverpool would have to undergo mandatory sex testing under its new policy that took effect on the same day. Under the new policy, athletes over 18 who want to participate in a World Boxing sanctioned competition need to take a PCR of polymerase chain reaction genetic test to determine their sex at birth. On our entertainment news, Nigerian music star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has reacted as his wife Chioma returned to social media after a long break. Chioma Adeleke, who had taken a break from social media since the tragic passing of their son Ifeanyi in 2022, returned today with a heartfelt post. She shared a photo of her wedding bracelet bearing Ifeanyi's image, accompanied by a message describing him as her best friend who walked with her into forever. Responding to Chioma's post, Davido wrote, "Till infinity." And lastly, in the news at this hour, the Nigerian Police Force, NPF, has issued a statement dismissing a viral wanted notice circulating on social media about Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo. The police described the wanted notice of Iyabo Ojo by the Office of the Inspector General of Police Monitoring Unit as false, misleading, and not issued by the force. The force emphasized the importance of verifying information only through official NPF communication channels before sharing or reacting to avoid being misled by fake news. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rita Inong. Enjoy the rest of your day.